Hello, everyone. I've been thinking this week that the one thing that might most separate humans from other species, the thing that makes us most created in the image and likeness of God, might just be imagination, the wonders of human imagination. Like the Creator, we can imagine things that don't even exist yet, and then we can bring them to life. This is the miracle of music, of art, of literature, of architecture and engineering. It's the miracle of mathematics and carpentry and quilting. Even more so, we can imagine spiritual concepts such as peace and harmony and joy. And we can bring those to life as well if we choose. So, why don't we? What holds us back from bringing to life all the goodness we can imagine? Because we could do it. We could do it if we choose, but what holds us back? Somehow along the way, we have superseded imagination with the mindless simplicity of liberal and conservative, left and right, progressive and orthodox. We've tripped into this narrow and false logic that all human thought falls somewhere along this one dimensional continuum. And the best we can do to not get stuck on one extreme or the other is to search for some mythical middle. We see it as a continuum of ideology, but dare I suggest it is actually more a line of idiocy. To make it worse, we then tend to believe that the point we occupy on this idiotic line is correct, and all other points are errant. But the whole construct is a lie. It's a lie. It might serve demagogues and politicians, but it doesn't serve truth and wisdom, and it certainly doesn't serve either God or humanity. The greatest thinkers in human history, Buddha, Confucius, Plato, Jesus, Isaac Newton, Leonardo da Vinci, Shakespeare, Galileo, none of them confined their thought to the narrow channel between two simplistic ideologic options. Nor should we. Why have we allowed our holy imaginations to be kneecapped by this notion that thought and perspective fall along this fabricated liberal conservative line? Why do we not imagine thought as a circle with infinite points and perspectives, or better yet, a sphere with multiple dimensions, or even a universe that is not confined by dimension at all? In Luke's gospel, Jesus calls us to imagine loving our enemies, to imagine offering our tunic to the one who takes our cloak, and of course, that golden rule to imagine treating others as we'd like them to treat us. He tells us to stop judging others, to stop condemning, and to forgive. Now, these are foundational Christian instructions, and they're unitive. They cannot be characterized as liberal or conservative or even middle ground. They dare us to live beyond the lie of polarized thought, the false construct that places people in opposition to one another, and to join with all humanity in the infinite realm of God's love. Without our sacred imagination, we think in black or white with maybe some shades of gray in between. We don't even consider the spectrum of blues or greens, yellows, oranges, reds, or any of the other millions of possibilities illuminated by the light of the world. It's quite sad when you think about it, the narrow minded, utterly fabricated liberal versus conservative paradigm limits it and suffocates imagination. And in doing so, it's dehumanizing, it's destructive. Arguably, it's an insult to God. Now, if I was the personification of all evil, whether named Satan or Lucifer or Mephistopheles or whatever, but if I wanted to destroy the things Christ taught, the ideas of loving one another, of treating people with compassion and equal dignity, of accepting all people without judging them, this is how I would do it. I would spend day and night recruiting agents to sow seeds of division. And I would entice these voices to continuously flood humanity with the imagination killing lie that thought, perspective, and even identity are defined by polarizing opposites, and that everyone who sees things differently than I do is wrong, is an enemy, and must be destroyed. At this point, as in all points in history, God calls us to think broadly, to imagine bigger, to move beyond the darkness of duality, and to light the world with the full spectrum of imagination, bringing people together, loving our enemies, treating others, all others, as we'd like to be treated ourselves. May the inspired imagination of our loving Creator rain down upon you. May the inspired imagination of our loving Creator stir the heart within you. And may the inspired imagination of our loving Creator flow into the world through you. Peace be with you, my friends. Have a great week.